Well, certainly a sad night for Sherry McKibben. She was seeking her first full term on council, but was eliminated by Robert Noche.
To say I'm disappointed. It has been an incredible couple of years, and I certainly have enjoyed my experience on City Council, and I hope that I have made a contribution, and I hope that I have contributed to Ward 3 and to dealing with some of the issues in Ward 3. I certainly want to congratulate Brian Mason for winning and thank him for his support, and I also want to congratulate Mr. Noche. I hope that the two of them are well able to serve the citizens of Ward 3 and continue to provide a good spirit and a good voice for people in the ward.
What are your plans for the future now?
I don't know.
Fair.
I'm going to rest for a while, and then I'm going to, I'll be unemployed, so I'm going to relax and enjoy myself and go out for dinner with friends and play cards and do all those other things you don't have time to do when you're in public life.
Okay, we've just received word that Jan Reimer has just walked into her headquarters. Let's go back now to Linda Steele, to Jan Reimer's headquarters. Linda.
Hi, Jan.
Hi. Excuse me. Hi. Hello, Jan Reimer is with us right now. She's just arrived and she has been shaking hands with everyone. She said just moments ago that she is not going to concede defeat just yet. The race is still too close to call yet. And things are just quietening down now as the mayor makes her rounds, saying thank you to all her campaign workers. We expect her to make her way up to the stage in just a couple of minutes from now to speak to the workers officially.
Linda, what's the mood like down there right now? It seems quite jubilant. I guess it just goes to show that it's really not over till it's over. What a battle brewing here.
That's right, and in fact, it's been very, very interesting because, as I mentioned, I mean, it was really only an hour ago that Jan Reimer's campaign manager was the one who said, hey, this thing was over. As Jan Reimer walked in the door just about 30 seconds ago, she said to a reporter that she's not conceding defeat, that it is, in fact, too close to call. So this is interesting. The whole crowd is certainly a whole lot more jubilant than they have been all night long. A lot of cheering, some flowers for the mayor, a lot of handshakes and congratulations. So this race is really quite interesting, isn't it? I mean, it looked like it might have been over, and now it looks like we're in it right for the long haul here.
Well, it certainly is exciting. We're going to break away from you for just a second, Linda. We're going to come back to the studio. We'll be back to you in just a second. We'll let Jan Reimer make her way up to the podium right now.
That's right. But first, John Ramsey, he's in very good spirits tonight despite his defeat. And just minutes ago, he explained why. Let's listen.
Have a chance to talk about it. Just how are you feeling overall?
I feel fine. Look at the noise in this room. You know, we fought a good game. Okay, we played well. We just didn't win. You know, maybe if this had gone on for another week, we would have won. It's like some games I've been in. If I only could have had another 5 minutes in the game, we could have won the game.
So what does this mean for your game next time around? What's up for John Ramsey next, and what are you going to do in the political arena?
First thing I'm going to do tomorrow is check with my 4 business partners in the various businesses and see what plans they want for me. I'll probably check with our National Association and the food brokers because I have left my job as a director for a while. So first thing I want to do is that. Then I'm still on the Northlands board and I've abdicated some of my duties there and I want to go back. I sit on several committees.
So back to business.
Back to business, and I wouldn't be surprised in the next week or two I didn't get some phone calls from people in the community saying, you know, you've got some spare time now. How would you like to work on this project with us?
What about 3 years from now?
I won't even answer that. I mean, tonight's tonight. You know, 3 years from now is a long, long time away. So
can you see yourself, though, John, living through this all over again?
My strength really is in serving the community as a volunteer. I was asked to do this, and I did do it. And whether I do it again is a decision that's going to be a long time away.
And before we go to break, we just want to take one quick last look at our mayoralty board. And there you can see a very tight race shaping up between Bill Smith and Jan Reimer. John Ramsey in 3rd place, followed by Brad Chicknita and Lance White.
All right, we're going to take a short break, but don't go away. Campaign 95 continues right after this.
On Tuesday's First News, who won, who lost, a complete wrap-up of the Civic election.
And we'll go live to Ottawa to talk referendum.
Grab that hammer and saw. We're going to do some heavy-duty home renovations tomorrow on First News.
Choosing the right lenses can be confusing. At LensCrafters, we have these new Featherweights lenses. They're made of a thin, lightweight material, but they're also tough. Now watch this. People choose lightweight lenses for comfort, but when they're safer, I sleep better.
New Featherweights, only at LensCrafters.
Cleaner burning ethanol blended gasoline at Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas station.
Come on over to FM 105. The music that takes you back.
The new Sony Handycam Vision. Clearly the latest in video cameras. With a built-in LCD screen for picture-perfect playback. There's a built-in speaker too, so you can capture every precious moment. Every precious memory. The new Handycam Vision. It's more than a camcorder. It's a Sony.
You've never seen anything like it. Pond's Dramatic Results Skin Smoothing Capsules with Nutrium. Your skin's appearance is revitalized in seconds. Dramatic Results Skin Smoothing Capsules from the Pond's Institute.
You're watching ITV News at 10.
Welcome back to Campaign 95, and you know the airport issue, of course, such a big issue throughout this election campaign.
Well, let's find out how Edmontonians voted on the airport referendum. It was a landslide victory for the yes side to consolidate all air traffic at the international airport.
And they're partying down at the yes headquarters. Let's head down now to Doug Downs with the top man for EDE, Mr. Rick Lollisher.
Well, Gord Jacqueline, the speeches are done. The DJ is taking over here. I mean, this has just turned into sort of a party here. Now, Rick Lollisher from Economic Development Edmonton, you're a big part of this campaign. What happens next? You have apparently a couple of conventions that we're waiting for the outcome of this vote. Tell me about that.
Well, they haven't signed the contracts yet, and they were waiting for the outcome, so we're certainly very hopeful. One's for 1999 for about 16,000 room nights, so that's a big one. So we're hoping to go out and try to get the contract signed as quickly as possible.
What about those that didn't win tonight? The Kingsway Business Association. This is a group of 400 businesses who had some viable concerns about losing the municipal airport's passenger service. What are you going to do?
I think it's up to all of us to work together, and I'll certainly commit working with Don Grimble and the members of the Kingsway Business Association. As you said, they are businesses in this city, and we all have to work with them to not only ensure they stay in business, but they also prosper, just like any other business in the city. So I'll be talking to Don very quickly, and I think it's up to all of us now to work together to ensure that we turn the municipal airport into a center of excellence for general aviation.
Rick, thanks and congratulations.
Okay, thanks very much, Nick.
And don't forget, Gord Jacqueline, they're talking about consolidation beginning about April of 1996. We'll send it back to you.
Sound like they're having a great time down at the yes headquarters. Well, let's go over to Ross McLaughlin at the decision desk for a look at the wards. Ross?
Well, Gord Jacqueline, this is probably one of the tightest races I've ever seen in a civic election, and we're trying to get a breakdown for you now from our decision desk on ward by ward and how the race is going between Mayor Reimer and Bill Smith. Now look at this. We have a very tight race supporting Reimer. We're looking at the airport campaign right now. Obviously, the south side of Edmonton voted very strongly in favor of consolidation. Ward 5 and 6, they're closer to the international airport. Now look at Ward 2. 67% said consolidate, and that's the ward where the municipal airport is located and where the strongest no campaign was launched. In Ward 1, I get 77%. And in Ward 3, in the far north end of our city, northeast corner, 65%. We expected a lower vote in favor of consolidation there because of the proximity to the international airport. Of course, it's a farther drive, and some of those people would like to have seen an airport located at Nemeo. So there it stands for the breakdown with consolidation on the airport issue. Now, let's take a look at the Keeler Road referendum. Obviously, Edmontonians spoke out, and they said, yes, to Keeler Road. This looks backwards to me. I think it's 88% in favor of it should be the other way around. Most Edmontonians said, no, don't keep Keeler Road open. Here's how it breaks down. 52% in Ward 1 and Ward 5. Those are the two wards which use Keeler Road quite heavily. People from the West End trying to get to downtown. They can't get onto 149th Street, and so they have a long route to go. So obviously, Keeler Road, close Keeler Road. Let's go back to Gordon Jackie now.
All right, thank you, Ross.
Thanks,
Well, certainly
Ross.
been a night of surprises, and one of those surprises, Sheila McKay was upset in Ward 6 tonight, losing to newcomer Dick Mather.
So how do you feel about the poll results at this stage?
Democracy is spoken, and that's fine. It's been wonderful to be the alderman for Ward 6 and to have the super team that I have. And the people have chosen a new team, and I hope they focus on Edmonton, and I hope that we can get Edmonton moving again.
And any thoughts on why the results have gone the way they have?
Well, I think that there's been a lot of negative press, and they kept bringing up a mistake I made with water and also the cap bylaw. But I hope the people remember the good things, because 37 years is a good time.
So what about you personally now? Have you had a chance at all to think about what your plans will be?
I always have a contingency, and what you do is free at last, and I'm going to enjoy every minute. And I'm even going to love Thursdays again, when that big agenda about this big used to come, and I couldn't go to the lake with my kids. Now I can. So thanks, Ward 6. I hope the new team works for you.
Okay, well, Jan Reimer is talking to reporters right now. Let's go down to Linda Steele live.
Conceding that early on.
Well, I think it's just a very, very close race, and we're waiting for the advanced polls. It seems to be getting closer, and I think we'll wait and see what the results are and then go from there.
Some of the people here have been asking for a recount already. There have been chants forming in the back of the room. Have you given any thought to that?
No.
Mayor Reimer, what do you think of the early numbers?
That's Jan Reimer at this point.
Well, I think it's a very close race, and as I said when I announced my campaign, this is going to be a close race, and we're seeing that unfold here tonight.
Your campaign manager, actually, about an hour ago, was conceding defeat on your behalf to Bill Smith. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think everybody's been under a lot of pressure here, and certainly I think the results looked like there was a much broader range of votes, but that seems to be narrowing, and I think we'll just hang in there until we see the results. I don't think Bill Smith's ready to declare victory yet either, so I think we're just hanging in there because it is so close.
Now, you must be pleased about the airport vote because you were in favor of consolidation.
Oh, very pleased to see the results of the referendum, both on the airport. I think that's the right thing for the city. It's a very, very important decision, and glad to see that that one is come through.
And what about the Keeler Road vote?
Well, very pleased too. I think in both cases, Edmontonians stood up for many of the things that I believed in a vision of the city where we have a strong international airport, where we cherish our river valley, and very pleased to see the results of that vote.
So we have the consolidation vote for the airport. What happens now?
Well, I think that certainly nothing can be rescinded for the airport bylaw until it's been in place for 3 years. I believe that's November 14th. I would anticipate that a fair amount of work would be done in anticipation of that and preparing council to deal with that on the 14th.
But how quickly might we see consolidation of services at the international?
Well, I think that would be an item of negotiation as the city looks at transferring the municipal to the international. ERA has indicated somewhere around the beginning of April, but I think it has to also be worked out with the airlines.
So how are you feeling with the vote so close? What's it like?
Oh, it's like being on pins and needles right now.
So how close does it have to get before you make a decision to speak to the people?
Well, I think once we get the polls in, and I guess a large majority of them, I guess it depends on the trends and what happens.
Thanks very much for talking to us. That's Edmonton Mayor Jan Reimer talking about the close election race. Back to you.